we should be live. Hello, world. Let's see here. Yes, we are up on Twitch and the YouTubes. And I'll just hit post on these things that I have.
Princess.
Oh my god, hello. I'll hit post on that and post on that. And then you're all gonna get pinged in the Discord. Boom. Wow. How are we doing today, gamers?
Oh, pretty good. Got out of work early.
Nice. And oh wait, I don't have the mix it up thing for the any logins that happen. I gotta grab that real quick. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
My signal today might cut out because the National Weather Service has issued a freeze warning in my area. It's very serious, and I'm gonna
God.
take it seriously, okay? So
Jesus.
anyone's name that rhymes with Barimia may tell you otherwise, but don't listen to them.
It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened.
What the hell?
Imagine living somewhere where
I'm just
you get
trying to
warning
survive,
about
okay?
that.
Imagine being snowed in
It's-
today. Couldn't
Oh,
believe.
Disney
an
World's gonna ice
unusual-
over.
Dude, it could. Mickey Mouse, he's toast, bro. He's not gonna make it.
Funny that rat
He's
gets
not
murdered.
gonna make it.
He's a mouse, not a rat, Shadow. Come on.
Close enough.
Is it though? I don't know.
I just love the accent with that. He's a rat. He's a rat.
He's a rat. Take
Mickey
him
Mouse
to
is a
Detroit.
dirty rat.
That is the national home of rats, Detroit.
Take him to Detroit. No, no, not Detroit.
Please, I'll do anything. Golly.
Okay.
I don't think I can listen to someone do the goofy voice without thinking of that stupid video.
Which one?
I love murder.
Goofy. I mean, Goofy's admission tape is a very important piece of media.
That is true.
It is.
Okay. Ad break ends in about a minute and a half.
I don't like ads. I'll be real with you.
Yeah. Well, did you know you can avoid these ads if you subscribe to Wolfborg with 2 Gs on twitch.tv and or have Twitch Turbo? Either way.
Whoa.
It
I'm
removes
gonna
the
get
ads.
Twitch Turbo right now. Thanks,
It's
Jeff
true.
Bezos.
You never have to
How do you
watch
avoid the
ads on any
the
stream.
YouTube stream.
Well, for there, you can, I think,
I can
become...
subscribe.
You can subscribe with the, what is it, the become a member. I think if you become a member, you don't get ads on the channel, or you can get YouTube Premium. That does the same thing.
Whoa. No, I don't like YouTube. I like Twitch only.
Well, that's
I
fine.
am going to subscribe. I'm gonna, you know what? Chat, put 50 gifted in the chat right now.
Go get
Is
some
there even enough people
akasupas.
for 50 gifts?
Go get some akasupas.
Can I get
I mean, all it takes
can
is
I get
one
some
person for
gifted?
50 gifted.
Can we get a sub train going?
Is this worth the $250 as a joke?
That's up
Yeah,
to you. No refunds
It
here.
is. It
Listen,
is.
I finally got my once every like 4 to 6 months payout from Twitch. Okay, so we did in fact make money today from Twitch.
Dude,
The
you
tax
can buy
guy.
more mahjong.
That's true. I could buy some more skins in Ricci City Mahjong. This is true.
Does Ricci City count as business expense?
It does if I stream it, which I have twice. So
All right, Shep, time to write off your Twitch money in business expenses.
I mean, I when I go to my
got
tax
raise
guy,
today too. It was a whole 2%.
when I go to my tax guy, he is going to receive my Twitch payout. So obviously, I get to include any money I put towards that with that too. So
Please, taxman, don't take my Twitch money away.
usually the Twitch payout means that I owe money to this contract
Beth,
worker rule.
this is your
bullshit.
fault.
Got too invested
Jeff's
in
fault.
Warehouse 13 and forgot to drink my tea, and now it's cold.
I've done that so many times.
Well, then you just put ice in it, and now it's better tea.
But I
No. It's gotta be
And then-
hot.
yeah, this is better hot tea.
We're having tea
Well, whose
battles
fault
here in
is
the host
that?
club.
Oh boy.
I've decided I'll
strike
just suffer
again.
until it's gone.
Oh yeah, I should remember what my recommendation is going to be before I get to me and be like, I don't remember what I was going to recommend.
Recommendations.
Now watch, I'm gonna.
My
Yeah,
You?
go on.
I was gonna say I'm gonna end up picking something ahead of time, writing it down so I don't forget, and then some motherfucker ahead of me is going to say it first, and I'm gonna be very upset, which would be surprising because Ari's the one who's gonna be before me. So if Ari picks it before me, I will be very upset.
I recommend
Ari,
Knives
you have to
3.
pick out Knives Out 3.
Knives Out 3.
No! And New Game, which I saw you
Talent
finished
Key is
reading.
the son of the harlot whore.
Oh my god.
You can say that again.
What the fuck?
My recommendation is so good that when I returned my books of it to the library, the librarian immediately grabbed them from the return and said, "Good, here's my hold."
You're what?
She had put them on hold, and
Yeah.
because I had finished reading them, and now she was able to read them.
Yeah.
Imagine
See,
having
Shadow,
to
when you
wait.
use a library, when people have books checked out, you can place a hold on them. That means when the other person is finished reading them and returns them, you'll be able to check them out, and it'll
Sorry, I play
notify
Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm
Hey,
illiterate.
Okay.
no,
and-
you're not.
He
Well,
really
that's
just
why you
laying
can
it
start
out
using
there.
libraries and learn how to read.
I hear having fun isn't hard.
It's not
when you
too
have a
late.
library card. Yeah.
You
I
can't
do
say
have
you're
one at work.
literate when you're like going to accounting school.
Is that spaghetti?
Is there a
You know you're
problem?
allowed to speak in broken English and get full marks in accounting.
Well, according to you,
You can
Accounting
do
accounting
that.
speaking broken math.
Shadow. According to you, accounting has nothing to do with finances too somehow. So I don't know.
Or
Nothing to do with
mozzarella
literacy,
sticks. Let
nothing
us
to do
not
with
forget.
finances, nothing to do with math. Like, what is it?
Nothing to do with
What-
mozzarella
What do you
sticks.
think
It's-
accounting is?
It somehow has nothing to do with anything,
Arabic.
and it
It's
isn't
Arabic.
useful to me because he won't like launder money for me. Okay, I got my Twitch payout
What
today,
is
and
this
I would like to not
American
have to pay
time?
the government back for this. Shadow. All right, is it that hard?
No, it's really selfish of you, Shadow.
It's fucked up.
Try better.
You even got a whole anime about the bean counters this season, all right? But nothing.
Look, I want to get into isekai counting. Okay, that's a whole another thing.
That's called Issa
Whose
counting.
actual
I'll have you know.
accounting as gay as that show, though?
Could be.
Say, what'd you say?
Welcome,
No,
Andy.
okay.
Hi.
This is doomed
Hello.
again.
All right. I think we're ready to get started
Welcome.
here. It is time. Okay. Where's the
You
pre-show
sure?
button? Yeah, I'm sure. It's time to go. Welcome, everybody, to another exciting episode of the Anime Book Club here on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and eventually Spotify. And we are here to continue our discussions about Ouran High School Host Club, volumes 11 and 12 for this week. But before we get to that, let's introduce our guests that we have in alphabetical order as I see it on Discord, starting with number 1 Tamaki Apologist. Introduce yourself.
Hi, that's me. I'm number 1 Tamaki Apologist. Also Andy. Also Nyan Bacon. You can find me anywhere as Nyan Bacon. I use he, they pronouns, please. No she, her. And my recommendation this week is a cute little game called Witchwood. It's a quick 8-hour playthrough. It only took me a couple days to get through it. And it's just the kind of thing where you collect ingredients to craft things to complete quests. It's a very cute story. I really like the art style. It's very unique. And it was a fun play. So I recommend that.
And you did not commit any form of mass murder.
No.
That's the most guilty
would
no I've
you-
ever heard.
Why would you say that? In fact, I saved many people's lives. So, like...
I believe it. All right. Well,
It's a cute game.
Thanks so much for that. Go check that out if you're interested in that. Next up, Arimia. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Miriam. I like shonenship. This week, my recommendation is Behind the Scenes. It is Hatori Bisco's more recent work, where it is about this college freshman who gets wrapped up in this art club, who their entire thing is that they do all of the behind the scenes like prop design work for the multiple film clubs that are on campus, and it's their kind of shenanigans. It's pretty slice of life. It's kind of it is a comedy, but it's less a because how does Viz describe, or a screwball romantic comedy is how they describe Ouran, which is very accurate. This is more of a more traditional comedy. What I'm trying to say is that there's still antics, but it's a little less because they're not all rich. Actually, most of these people are like broke, but so you don't have like the grand escapades and stuff they do. But it's fun. Because I like the premise of filming stuff, of behind the scenes stuff. So it's pretty good. It's only 7 volumes. I'm on volume 4 right now. Also, all of the characters, one last thing, all of the characters are named after are bastardization names of famous movie directors. So the main character's name is Ranmaru Kurisu.
Wait, say that again? I think you broke up a bit on my end.
Ranmaru Kurisu. So Ranmaru Kurisu. So Chris something. It's supposed to be Christopher Nolan.
Oh. Oh, okay.
That's what she says in volume 1. And whenever she introduces another character, she explains it. The main girl is Ruka Ngozi, George Lucas.
All right.
One of these is named after Sam Raimi.
Okay.
Very, very interesting ways, but yeah, it's pretty good. And the art style it feels very different than Ouran. Like it's still in the same vein, but it also doesn't feel like her art. It's good. I like the art style in this one better, which is good because it's more recent. So I guess she's improved some, but it's good. It's good.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Go check that out if you are interested in checking that out. I'm interested in checking that out at some point in the future, so I probably will. Thank you so much for that.
Hey,
Next
Andy,
up-
recommend it'll be funny.
What?
I talked in the chat about how I've run out of things to recommend because we read Familiar and Zero and Ouran, so I'm out of things, and Shadow's like, just recommend that.
Well,
You
why don't
also
you
recommend
recommend a
Familiar Zero,
shoujo?
too.
Like you clearly like shoujos. Because
Nuh-uh.
that's
Andy's
what you
just
like
like-
about Ouran.
Andy's just like, yeah, but I haven't actually read any of those beyond these two, so.
That's what I don't get about you. You're like foaming at the mouth for these scenes in Ouran, and I'm just like,
Oh.
yeah, this is what shoujo is.
Listen,
This
that's
is shoujo.
Listen, that's what the book club is for. We get to try that kind of stuff together as a family, okay?
Wait, is Ouran not shoujo?
Or
No, it is shoujo.
Is shoujo,
But
yes.
Andy doesn't read shoujo, but Andy loves Ouran, and I'm just like, you would find a lot more things that you like if you read more shoujo.
Yeah, I'm a
I can
vegan, but
provide a
these
list.
burgers are delicious.
Literally. Anyway.
All right, so we recommend reading more shoujo. Thanks for that. All right, next up, me, Kyoya Borg, aka Wolfborg, aka Chaplin, aka the best anime book club host ever of all time. Write that down. All right, it's true.
Did
It's
you
a
remember?
fact. Okay, now I got two things to recommend. The first of which is anime movie, one of my favorites. I might have recommended it in the past, but I don't remember when. The Night is Short, Walk On Girl. Incredible.
That movie's the best.
Incredible movie.
It's really good.
It's incredible. I watched it before actually seeing the Tatami Galaxy, which it's from the same author as Tatami Galaxy, and it's also the anime version's directed by the same person. It's in the same style as it, with the same looking characters from it, same kind of setting, different kind of themes they approach, but like overall, very, very great movie. Incredible movie. I will say it has a lot of focus on drinking because it's like a big New Year's party long night scene. I think it was New Year's. I'm pretty sure it might have not have been New Year. I don't remember, but it was like a long party. No, it was for like a wedding night, and then the party continued on. I think it was. I don't actually remember if it was New Year's off the top of my head.
It's
But
a crazy movie.
It's a crazy movie. It has a lot of focus on drinking. So if you're somebody who's really into drinking culture and all that, it's got some of that stuff in there too. But it has a very interesting love story that it follows. That's its main plot line too. So it's an incredible time. Highly recommend. Also, the book is good too. I have that. It's good. So go check that out if you're interested.
Yuasa.
Yeah. And now the second thing
Yuasa's a very underrated director, for sure.
Yuasa is very, very good. Yes. Now the second thing I would recommend is to potentially keep your calendars open on Saturday, January 31st, especially if you are an indie VTuber viewer and or a fan of this channel. Something may happen on that date that you would be interested in. Perhaps, some things might be in motion on that day. Who knows? Who
I
could
hope it doesn't
say?
start with a G.
Mahjong? What? keep your calendars open for Mahjong? Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Keep your calendar open for Mahjong.
Only VTuber fans are here for Mahjong. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But yeah, I would just say January 31st, it's Saturday. If you kept your calendars open that day, something cool might happen then. You might hear more about that in the next coming days. I'm just saying, potentially, So, those are the things I would recommend. Next up, Shadowman V4. Introduce yourself.
The thing I don't recommend for this week is college.
Oh, why is that?
Yeah.
I'll explain after stream.
Oh, okay. It's for the
Oh.
the post book club yaps. I understand. All right. Well, thank you for the anti recommendation. Why are we talking about my bones in the Discord chat? I prefer my Wolfborg's boneless is what I'm seeing, and I don't know if I don't know if I like this. Listen, you guys, if you're listening to this, okay, there's some quality discussions happening here in the Discord, discord.wolfborg.com. I'm just saying. Anyways, thank you so much for that, Shadow. Next up, Thrice Deceased. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Mike. I go by she, they. My recommendation, well, we watched Wake Up Dead Man, which is a whodunit. So I recommend Columbo, which is a series of How Ketchums. We're bringing back the mystery genre.
Bring back
one more
Columbo.
thing. Just one more thing.
One more thing.
Yeah.
I really should watch
I
more
saw you
Columbo.
do it.
I've only seen a couple full episodes of Columbo years ago in the Dev Talk server because someone was streaming it at some point. I really should watch more though.
There's a whole lot of them.
Columbo watch party.
Just
And
one
he's
more
kind of a
thing.
different person in the first two movies.
Mm.
They were figuring
There's
out the
Columbo
character still.
movies?
Yeah, no, this is like
Yeah,
a look and see.
Yeah, it started as two movies. One of them's Prescription Murder, and I don't remember what the other one is. But he's very, very polished in the first one, and then he's kind of polished in the second one, but he has his like raincoat or his trench coat. And then once the actual show starts, he's like his regular scruffy self. And the first episode of the regular show was directed by Steven Spielberg.
Oh, all right. Well, go check out Columbo if you are interested in that. Thank you so much for that. Next up, Twin Idiocracy. Oh, we changed from Twin Supremacy to Twin Idiocracy. I just realized. All right, well, introduce yourself.
That tracks.
Alright, I'm Aztec. I like bad media. My recommendation for this week is a new seasonal called Playing Death Games Put Food on the Table.
Hell
I only
yeah.
watched first episode, but it was fun.
Yes, I would also recommend that. I think I've recommended the light novel in the past, but the anime we saw in the first episode, it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Very good. Anything else?
That's what I got.
All right, thank you so much for that. And next up, Father and Twin. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Father and Twin,
At the same time.
and my recommendation is Pat. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. Um,
No
I
Path of Exile.
I want to recommend. It's something I already recommended, but I think people are catching on. And it's Trails of the Sky, the first chapter. It's a
Oh.
remake of the first game, the first Trails of game, and it's really nice. Seeing a lot of good reviews in, people finally getting a chance to play it. And I just want to recommend it again because it was a really good game, and it's fully voice acted. You got Matthew Mercer. Like, come on, play the game. Just play it.
Go do it. Go check it out. Go check
Do it
that
now.
out if you're interested in that. Thank you so much for that, Baguetti. And now it's time to begin our discussions on Ouran High School Host Club Volumes 11 and 12. Well, we had the Sports Festival arc start, which took up most of Volume 11, but we did have a couple chapters towards the end, I think, that were not the Sports Festival, so it already beat my guess that it was going to take up, like, almost both of these volumes. It did go faster than I expected. I'm going to be honest with you, the first part of the Sports Festival, the beginning chapter, I think, was boring the shit out of me. Luckily, once we actually started the Sports Festival itself, I was more into it, at least. But I was checked
like
out at
sports?
the beginning. Well, the sports part was funny because they really did go along with all of the games, misinterpreting most of them. they had the bread eating contest, in which they thought
That
we'll
was
just
fun.
we'll just make it so that the teams have to guess who the chef is, I think, or something like that. You know, we got the rich people misunderstanding of these common folks sports festival games. That was one of them, and then we had the cheering section, in which they just reenacted some scenes from plays instead, which was actually critical to the plot of things somehow.
Integral part of the story.
It was actually integral.
Shakespeare's important, okay?
That's true. That is very true.
They say that sometimes.
The arc opened last week with it initially intending to be a rivalry arc between Kyoya and the
orange guy.
I forget what sports team. Was he
Kuze,
like football?
I think?
Was he football?
American football.
He was American football,
Guy,
Kuze.
Real football.
He's supposed to be the rival against Kyoya here, but Tamaki has stuck his nose into Kyoya's business, and so Kyoya has now made it his mission to crush Tamaki in the event, to out of spite of him doing that, I guess, or something to that effect. There's a lot of behind the scenes mind games ish, not really mind games. It's more like the arc is more so trying to constantly question, why is Tamaki want to involve Kyoya in this sports event that he wants something to do so bad, and Kyoya just trying to not exactly go into why he wants to crush Tamaki at this, why he's gotta be mad at Tamaki now over this or whatever, things of that nature. And my understanding, if I understood it right, is that Tamaki wanted Kyoya to be involved in an event like this and not purposely throw the event in order to appease his standing with things, specifically when it comes to Tamaki itself, because I think Kyoya literally said at some point in this arc, he's like, if I was going all out on this, I would simply make it appear that Tamaki has won of his own volition, but I would make it somehow be known to the important people that it was very clearly my hand that caused that to happen, or whatever. He would do something to like show the higher ups, especially when it comes to his family, that he has done his part in establishing stronger connections between his family and another, specifically the Suo family, and Tamaki obviously knows that this is a thing that Kyoya is constantly thinking about and doing. It's not something he necessarily looks down on Kyoya for, which was a big thing that we talked about here. He like made it clear he knows that this is a thing that Kyoya does and is always thinking about, but he sees that more as Kyoya being very passionate about like his standing and reputation and his hard work and all that. So he more so looks positive on that, and is like, that made him want to be closer with Kyoya as a result. Which is how we got into that kind of stuff. Which I like that. I think I like that view on it. I was worried when we got into this arc that it was going to be potentially fights similar to that. I thought we were going to get more fights between the twins on this, but really the fights with the twins happened after the sports event, for other reasons that we'll go into. Very important other reasons. The sports festival, I think the biggest thing for me that stood out was the Kuze guy just not being there for the first half, even though he was supposed to be the rival. And so we had the white team and the red team, and I think the white team was oh god, which one was it? White team was, I think, Kyoya's team, right? Or was that, oh god,
White team was Kyoya, yeah.
White team was Kyoya.
Yes, white team was Kyoya, red team was Tamaki.
Okay, and the white team was crushing it for like the first half. Crushing it so much and the red team was losing for like some stupid reasons too. Like I think one of them was supposed to be like a beanbag toss,
All
and
stupid reasons.
and Haruhi is like getting yelled at by May from the stands, saying, "You pick up that beanbag and you save it for me for later because that shit's expensive." And then everybody is like trying to help her collect them instead of throwing it into the basket, and so they lose through everybody trying to help Haruhi.
Incredibly stupid reasons.
Tamaki
Again,
poisoning his
screwball
whole team.
comedy.
One of the games involved Nekozawa just being blinded by the lights in the stadium into like leaving the event, I think. So
Yeah.
that, you know, things like that. Kuzume shows up later, like halfway through, which I still forget. I think we talked about a little bit, maybe pre-stream or before I even hit start on stream or whatever. Why was Kuzume gone, other than it just saying he was out for a bit for... I didn't know if it said he was sick or something like that, but he was just gone for the first half, and then he showed up to basically carry them through all of the games except the last one, I think. I don't remember why he wasn't there. But he just wasn't there. The initial rival just wasn't there for the first half. Showed up, helped him out. Yeah, for plot reasons, pretty much. The plot mostly focusing on the development between Kyoya and Tamaki facing off against each other, with which you go to Kyoya's side, and Kyoya's just like, we'll tactically plan with all of our data analysis of each of the players. We'll tactically put these players in these games and these players in these games, and obviously, with how Tamaki's gonna run things, it'll be easy to beat them in this game like this and this like that. It'll be easy, you know. And I think they're winning, and he's like, I didn't expect it to be this easy of a win, but it works out in my favor, I guess. So like he's crushing it. And then we get to the cheer section where Tamaki just goes, like he locks in on a play. I forget which one it was exactly, but he reenacts. Yes, I think they said it was a specific scene that was very good at raising morale for those who have lost repeatedly prior, so that they can reignite their strength and go forth and win. And then, I mean, they did win afterwards, but I think that was mostly just because Kuzue showed up again. Or Kuzue? I don't remember how you say it. Kuzue showed up again. It was like, all right, I'll be in literally every game. And then he was like dying by the last one, so Tamaki had to do the last one. I think Tamaki even tried to do one of the games. I think it was candy making, which they sort of made it look like he might know what he was doing at first, and then the final result just looked horrifying, and everyone disliked it. So I was like, oh, maybe they'll at least give Tamaki a win in something. But they were like, no, this shit's ass.
His win was the cheerleading, and that's it.
That is true.
That's all it matters.
I like that despite all of his calculating, the one person that Kyoya was trying to work against, which was Tamaki, was the one that surprised him the most. Because, like, Kyoya, like, knew, like, he kind of knew, but, like, he was so caught off guard, I think, by the fact that they were winning so hard in the beginning, and he was taking it in stride because he had to. But I loved all of, like, the focuses on his face when the red team then kept winning in the second half. He was getting increasingly frustrated. It was so funny. It was so fun to watch. I really liked how Kyoya just kind of responded to everything that Tamaki did in this part. Because despite all his calculations, Tamaki can still surprise him.
Yeah, it's I got some good Kyoya chapters this week, I think, as the Kyoya enjoyer here. I was very happy with that. We did have a lot of focus on the twins though later on, but there was quite a bit of Kyoya, which I was happy with. The sports festival arc in general wrapped up with Tamaki and Kyoya racing for real against each other, and then I couldn't tell if Tamaki lost on purpose or if he just really actually ran out of breath or something like that. But he just kind of stopped at some point. He was too tired, it looked like. Maybe I was misremembering or whatever. But either way, Kyoya had won the event. And so that wrapped up with that. I forget what happened immediately afterwards, but oh yeah, they had made a bunch of bets in like right before they did the final race for what each of them were gonna have to do if the other one wins, and so Kyoya said a long list of embarrassing things that Tamaki had to do. What was it? One of the he had to wear a what is it called? Fundoshi?
Yeah. Underwear, essentially.
It's like a sumo underwear outfit thing. Because we go to the next chapter where like everybody else is dressed up for with bagpipes. Everyone else is rocking bagpipes.
They're all Scottish.
And Tamaki's like, I want to be in that fit too, but he's stuck in the sumo outfit, and everybody's like having fun with that. I think is that the one where Haruhi just kind of hands him a rubber ball that she bought.
A bouncy ball, yeah.
Yeah. He's just bouncing it in the corner. He's like, oh my god, this is actually pretty fun. What the fuck?
Which is a valid response to a bouncy ball.
That is true. That is very true. Thank you so much for the follow of Vex Animations. How you doing? Sumo, yes, true. What else? So, before I get into that kind of stuff, how did we feel in general about the sports festival arc? Did we enjoy it? Did we think it could have done other things? Are there parts that you liked? How are we feeling?
It was fine.
It wasn't
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah,
It was
I
just
like
kind of there.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I think
It wasn't the worst. It was alright.
much like most of the attempts at arcs, that's just kind of how it is with some of them. Some, I think with these arcs towards this volumes for this week, I kind of enjoyed more so parts of the arc after the sports festival, at least, which we'll get into later. But the sports festival is another one of those where it's just, I mostly was there for the Kyoya moments, but yeah, it's not the worst, but I will say that first chapter, when I started that first chapter, I was checking out of that until we actually got to the sports. I was like, oh god, I don't care. They're like talking so much about their plans for the event. I would rather we just skip to the event and see it in action.
Nope, you're stuck here.
Happens. I wish
I
they
have
made
things to say.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm reading a message from Vex Animations. I wish they had made a second season. I was so mad. I love Ouran Host Club so much. The anime has so much potential. I can't wait to rewatch the anime again.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't remember too much, but I remembered having a lot of fun when I did. And then you also said, Haruhi is my favorite. She's so me IRL. Haruhi is a very good character. I really like...
Not a lot of Haruhi this week.
Surprisingly, even
Yeah.
though the later chapters
I mean-
did
Supposedly
entirely
character.
focus on the relations with her.
They saved the most important image of all, which was Haruhi sitting on the couch thinking of sweet potatoes. Like,
Yeah, girl.
That was the whole thing.
Hell
was
yeah.
Sweet potatoes.
like it's like, yeah, I'm
Okay,
gonna put
there
her
is a
in this
difference.
one scene.
Okay, there
And it's
is a
gonna
difference
be
between sweet potatoes and
crazy.
yams. Okay.
Yeah.
There's
Is there?
okay. Yes, there is.
You know what?
Oh, okay.
I just
I had to learn about
I
it
just
in
sat
academic
there.
decathlon because we were reading a book called Things Fall Apart, and it was about yam farmers in I don't remember which country it was in Africa. And so we had an entire lecture about the difference between yams and sweet potatoes.
What, could you light us on the difference, Andy?
This was like 10 years ago. I don't remember.
No, he's just gonna wax poetically about it.
They're just different,
I
okay?
am.
Trust me.
Damn
I
it,
can't
Andy.
prove it, but they are.
Okay.
I can't prove it. They just are, okay?
Everyone should
Not
know that by
enjoy
now.
their metaphorical mustache.
All right, Andy, what are the things you have to say?
The things that I have to say are, I forgot.
I forgot.
Basically 2/3 of volume 11 was just Tamaki and Kyoya flirting, and I really liked it.
No bias shown.
No bias, absolutely none. But and again, this is another instance where I obviously, candidly, I do have bias. But I really liked the fact that it very much showed that, like, Tamaki isn't stupid. Like he is airheaded, and obviously he's very educated in certain ways. For example, knowing that speech from Henry VIII, the play that they pulled, like being able to do that, like he's smart. He knows what he's doing, and they don't like. It's the
He's
thing
just
that I think you
trolling,
mentioned
okay?
a little
He's trolling.
earlier. I think that you mentioned it a couple streams ago, the fact that they take all of these serious scenes with Tamaki and then end up turning it into a punchline. They did it again this week a couple times, and it kind of pissed me off because it's like the author is
Let him
trying
have
so
let
him have this moment. The author is trying so hard to balance the fact that he is intelligent. He's very aware of the people around him, especially Kyoya, especially the twins. Maybe not Haruhi, but and it's just he does so much for them, bro. And I think that like we see it a little bit later, like we're finally getting to the point where we can see how he's affected all of them. Like the fact that it isn't just Tamaki and Haruhi, or it isn't just like them all competing, like they are like a family together. But I really like that the sports festival kind of emphasize the fact that like, yeah, Tamaki is airheaded, but he's not stupid. Like he knows what he's doing when he's putting his mind to it. And I think that the sports festival outlined that very well, and I appreciated that.
Okay.
Nobody knows how to frustrate Kyoya enough to motivate him to focus on his own pride and his own like self and like internal like satisfaction than Tamaki does.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They bring out the best and the worst in each other.
Exactly. It's like, I'm gonna piss you off so much that you can't help but be good at things.
And then Hatori had the balls to say, I don't know why people keep thinking this is a boys' love manga. Hello? Excuse me?
Look, Andy, it's okay. It's okay. The author can be wrong sometimes.
We saw one of the afterwards this week was like about the Hatori speaking with her editor when they were starting the series at first, and they were having a meeting talking about ideas for the new series, and they're just like, rich boys? Oh, I don't know if I want to write about that. Can I go home now? And then they eventually ended up making Ouran High School Host Club, which is like a huge series. So yeah. I don't know if I want
That's
to
such a
write about rich
Haruhi
boys.
response, though.
That's true, yeah.
It is. That is true.
I don't want to do
What
that.
does it say with the author?
Yeah, can I go home now? If I don't have to be here, what? And then I think eventually they were just like, host club. That could be fun. And they're like, you know what? Maybe.
There was something else that I had thought of this week, and now I can't remember if the scene was in the sports festival or something else. But I noticed it was something that I definitely noticed this week about the fact that Haruhi had like a change of heart about the club, because in the beginning, like very consistently, I remember that there was one panel where she was like, I'm running late to the club, but I don't give a fuck because it's not like I want to be here anyway.
Right. Yep. I remember that one. Yeah.
That doesn't come up very often
and those kinds of comments in the beginning, like, just why am I doing this? And I think it was this week, but I don't remember what the line was, where there was like a noticeable shift in the fact that like Haruhi actually wants to spend her time with the hosts. And it's like, it might have been with the yams, the fact that she, like, her first thought is, oh, let's go to the host room to cook these or whatever, might have been what I was thinking of. But like the fact that we've been able to see Haruhi shift, like have a change of heart throughout the volumes into actually like, yeah, she's pretty upfront with them, but she has had a change of heart to where she really does enjoy her time with them and wants to spend it with them.
These are her friends now.
Yeah, they became her boys.
Yeah.
Her host club.
Yeah, I definitely noticed the change over time with that attitude, but it is still very funny, all the scenes with her in especially I think back towards the Zuka Club chapter that we had recently where she's just there and they're like, yeah, so you're gonna be the main actress in our play, and she's like, nope, I'm gonna go home if I don't have to be here. Can I leave? I'm gonna go now.
It's like, no, the fuck I ain't.
I'm not doing that. So thanks for the ride and interrupting my day, but I'm gonna go home now. Or at least she tried to, and then she got roped into still being a part of the shenanigans. I don't know. I always thought that was very funny about Haruhi as a character throughout all this. I mean, even now, like we said, the arcs past the sports festival are focusing on Haruhi's relationship with people without actually having her be that much of an input on it, except for like a couple moments of it or whatever, which is interesting. We can get into that more. Is there anything we had left over to say about the sports festival, though, before we move on to that kind of stuff? Oh, I remembered there was a Mori and Honey race that happened. And I remembered it specifically because at some point in the race, it included a whole cake eating contest, which...
Of course.
I wonder why that game is there in the middle of this race. If not to see what funny interaction that would be. And the interaction, of course, was Honey can, of course, eat the full cake, but Honey's going to take his time with it because he thinks that it should be, appreciated.
Savored.
And it's savored.
Gotta savor it.
And Maury's just like, no, I gotta get going. All right, I enjoyed it at my own pace. I'm fucking gone now.
That's the thing, is it wasn't that he didn't enjoy it. He was like, it was wonderful. Bye.
It was great. Bye.
and then Honey's like,
great. We
that
got a race
son
to
of a
do."
bitch. I'm never eating cake near this man again.
No, it was so good.
I remember that bit. I don't remember what happened with the twins for this arc, other than them just one of them, or maybe both of them, one of them just going, "Oh, I don't know if I want to be separated from my brother." I think that was pretty much.
No,
I
that
don't
was
remember what else
Kaoru.
happened with them.
Kaoru was on the red team or the white team because he wanted Hikaru to be with Haruhi on the red team with
Yeah.
Tamaki, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Which, by the way, I can finally tell the difference between these fucking two. Thanks to the upgraded explanation from one of Hatori's other editors or staff people.
Upgraded
Because
explanation.
the author was just like, oh, I can tell the difference through the curtains, and the right side is the more dominant side. It's the first one you read, so that's this person. Now we were told the explanation through somebody who was like, oh, Hikaru, if you write he in was it katakana, it swerves to a certain way with the hair, and with Kaoru, the ka goes the other way. So you can tell it by the characters and the shape that the hair goes, based on the stroke, the curved stroke of the hair and the character.
And then at the end of this week's reading, you don't even need that anymore.
You know,
They give us
exactly.
stuff that
I
you
was
proved dead, and
I
we
was
don't
so
need it.
I was so proud of myself for being like, oh, now I'll actually be able to tell them apart now. Oh my god! And then they
it
just
doesn't
dyed their
matter.
hair
The next chapter,
differently.
you don't even need it
None of that
anymore.
mattered. They're like, listen, what if we like changed our appearance actually differently so we could be told apart and also separate ourselves into like our own rooms and maybe like have our own identities now?
Like in my own goddamn room.
It's like, well, shit. You had to do that as soon as I learned how to tell you two apart? What the fuck?
There were
The
also
auth- the
apparently a few
author-
scenes in the other volumes where she drew the wrong person in this.
The wrong
Yes.
one.
Yeah,
That's
I was
Yeah.
gonna
incredibly
say,
funny.
I think it's so funny. Like, I remember last week, like Andy went through excruciating, like, detail about like the differences between them. Like, not even Bisco can keep them.
Not even their actual mother.
I was seeing
Not-
the page. I was seeing the page where the author's just like, I'm so sorry, I got them wrong in this one panel by the vending machine. And I'm just like, I couldn't tell which one it was anyways. you don't have to apologize to
that,
me.
It was
So.
who you told me it was.
I'll probably expand on this later. I like the fact that I ended up being literally proven right and also proven wrong in this week's reading about my excruciating speech about how to tell the twins apart. Thanks for describing it as excruciating, by the way. Really appreciate that.
Well, I mean, it wasn't just the visual appearance distinguishing them for me, or really learning how to tell them apart by their hair and their names now. but also just the chapter / arc where they're fighting here very much set them apart for me, at least. A lot more directly than the previous Hikaru going on a date with Haruhi chapter did.
Hold on, I like to mention something.
Yep.
Of like the 5D chess play, the author giving an explanation on how to tell them apart, then giving their second explanation that's much better, and then just taking it away from you. Anyway.
Why not? And getting it wrong several times along the way. Because I remember the very first time she tried to explain the difference, the early chapters, she was like, oh, this person's hair is on the left, this one's on the right. And then later on she realized, okay, so first of all, I got that wrong a couple times. Second of all, I think I got it wrong which direction's supposed to be which for, like, in terms of when you're looking at them, as opposed to from their perspective. Then she went into the curtains. Then she's like, oh, we can tell them by characters for their name. And now they're just dyed their hair anyway. We just gave up on it. I feel like we went through a whole arc with this from the author's perspective.
It's Kaoru when the curtains are red.
And when they did that too, when one of them shows up with, I'm gonna be real with you, I've already forgotten which one. Was it Hikaru that dyed his hair? Hikaru dyed his hair?
Yes, he's the older twin.
Oh god, I'm not the only one that's not sure. Oh no. See, I was able to tell them apart, and now we've done it again. Okay, well, I mean, after
because Hikaru was the one that was having kind of having a crisis over what Karu had said, and he was like, you know what, like, fuck it, I'll take initiative in this part, since Karu's been doing all of this kind of stuff.
Right. I was gonna get into something with that, and I can't remember. My brain is just Hikaru or Kaoru. Which one is it? Oh, they in the past chapters about them, they've always been like, we want someone to be able to tell us apart without us having to actually be different from each other. They kind of seemed like they wanted that kind of connection, and then when they finally did decide, you know what, maybe we should just visually make ourselves different. They talked about it like, oh, we should have just done this a while ago. I don't know why we didn't think about this before. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? I thought that was whole part of your character arc. Was being like,
actually, that can be written away by the fact that Tamaki said you're supposed to and allowed to be contradictory. That is part of who you are as a person, and you should embrace that. So
you're allowed to not make sense.
I mean,
actually, any plot holes is actually part of their character development. Okay.
The one-time shit, all intentional.
Actually, Hatori would probably come into the author's notes next time and say, any writer mistakes like that is because I am a failure as a writer and I hate everything that I draw. It's usually how she sounds sometimes when she's apologizing for mistakes. Which she's still doing really good, all things considered. So, you know, if she hadn't apologized for getting one of the characters wrong at the vending machine, I wouldn't have ever fucking known, to be honest. So, I'm sure.
No, she probably got a lot of fan letters about that.
Yeah, that's probably the main thing. She probably did from them. Because we did have another mention of the upgraded popularity poll, which I believe had Haruhi at the top this time, with Tamaki second, and I think Kyoya third. I forget where the twins were, but she said that the twins were heavily impacted because they were not voted together. They were voted separately, which I'd imagine may have more of a difference now as opposed to before they did the poll, but I'm sure they'll probably do it again.
I think the twins were like
anyways.
4th and 5th.
Oh, okay, I see.
Like, combined, they outranked Haruhi, but...
You know what we did get more about? I say hesitantly, around the word more, Mori got a take care of a Tanuki chapter. See, this is the difference in the characters we're focusing on here, okay? Hikaru and Kaoru get a whole big arc
life crisis
set of chapters. There's very clearly building towards who's gonna end up with Haruhi in the end type deal situation going on, while also developing themselves. And then Mori takes care of a Tanuki. This is the difference in seriousness that we have for developing some of these characters. Which, I mean, I think I've known at least since the beginning, Mori and Honey were pretty much never going to be in the running for this because Mori's too busy taking care of Honey as like a big brother / father, and Honey is too busy eating cake to care. So,
Yeah.
so
Honey's already got a spouse apparently.
oh, you know what? That's true. I forgot he's got a goth GF now or whatever, a curse GF now.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Who showed up for like one panel when they were prepping for the sports festival, saying, "Oh, we could do these curses on the enemy."
Yo.
And Honey was just like, yeah, that sounds good.
Haha, yay!
Look, Chef, I'm just saying, okay, get you the kind of woman that'll just actually kill you.
Yeah, you know, we'll just cast curses for you. Why not? Yeah, for we stopped at some point for like a little break from the serious arcs to have a Tanaki show up who Mori had helped prior, and then the Tanaki then began following Mori around and trying to help the host club. And the helping the host club involved wrecking several areas and leaving like offerings behind of like
what
acorns
everywhere.
and trying to help with homework and leaving paw prints on the notebooks.
Looking like they got burglarized.
I love that it was just hoarding yams in a random bush.
Yes. Which then also, I think Mori brought out a chick named Pio to have talked to the Tanaki. Was Pio here before? They kind of made it sound like this thing was always here, and I couldn't remember it.
It got like
Pio.
introduced
Honey
in a
owns
chapter
elephants.
after this one.
That was
Yeah.
what confused me. Okay, all right, so I'm not crazy then.
Mhm.
Because it felt to me like it was trying to say, oh, it's this thing from before. And I was like, I don't remember this actually being a thing.
Yeah,
We're just
they
kinda
try to
acting like
make
this
it
is
sound
always
like
there.
it's like,
Behind
oh, they
you.
brought this up like volumes
Pio
ago,
is
and they're,
right
like,
behind
bringing
you,
it back.
chap.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Which, by the way, that did
Chef,
try
if
to
you
go
back
into,
to
like...
volume 2, look at this specific panel, you can actually see Pio.
Maybe. It's possible. It could have done something like that. But, I'll be honest, that joke about Pio, or Pio being there, led into the bonus chapter afterwards about Honey's brother. And I don't know if I liked that chapter. It kind of just undid the whole point of Honey's brother's chapter, I think. I know it's supposed to be just a fun bonus thing, but it was like, oh, actually, after all of that, Honey's brother is just like Honey. They just have a thing for small living animals such as Pio.
It's
And
genetics.
I was like, we had a
It's
whole
that
arc about
DNA.
this. We had a
The
whole
one
thing about
thing that I was kind of surprised that he would have like a horde of things, because I feel like he wouldn't allow himself that. He'd still find them cute, but it's like, would he let himself keep those?
It's
He
his
wishes.
secret stash he's been cultivating over the years.
Yeah.
He's actually a
No,
hoarder
no.
and needs to see a therapist.
I believe it.
I could use a therapist by now too.
Oh, I think my connection might have died for a second, but we might be good. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, not too much actual things happen there. It was just we there's a Tanaki that hangs out. What was the Tanaki's name? Palme? I forget what I think they tried to name it something
Yep,
French.
like Pullman.
Sounds right. Yeah.
So there's a Tanaki that hangs out now, and then there's also a chick named Pio, because why not? So those are there. I don't think anything else happened there. I think it was just Tanaki shenanigans. But no, that was a little fun breakaway from some of the stuff. And then we get into the more serious stuff again. We get into...
Wait, no. Hold on, it just occurred to me. There's one funny thing that happened. Tamaki's like, if animals can talk to animals, then humans can talk to animals.
It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
It was because Mori was trying to
Just
have...
logic.
Mori's trying to use Pio to talk with Palme, the Tanaki, to try to get him to calm down from wrecking everything, I guess. And yeah, so it's close enough. Animals talking to other animals must mean that humans can talk to animals, right? That's how that works, right? Obviously.
Of course, I mean, simple math.
With Tamaki logic, of course, even that's possible.
Of course.
Speaking of Tamaki, what if we went on a trip to France? What if we just decided it's time for a trip
What
to
if we
France?
didn't?
Oh, okay.
What's the other place where they store the Frenchies?
Quebec.
No, the first one's Quebec. The other one's France.
Oh, okay. Well, I tried. Anyways, so they decided randomly it's time for a trip to France for specifically Tamaki's class. And
Yeah, the second years.
that's why I meant to say the second.
The second year's going on 5 years.
Yes.
No, I explained the clock. Okay, it all makes sense.
They did explain.
There have been so many springs.
Don't worry. I think we did have an author's note saying, you know, at this point in time, we've been doing the sports festival arc for a while in these monthly releases. But in real life, they're like wearing scarves and stuff at the sports festival.
Yeah.
But it's like the middle of summer in real life. And I think she had mentioned, I used to be able to write my arcs as they happened in the seasons, which was difficult to do because of the timing of things and how I have to rush things for that. But now I have the opposite problem where it's also difficult to write things out of season because I'm thrown off by the fact that I'm writing these not in that season or something to that effect. Which, yeah, it's something I thought about.
Yeah.
It's something I thought about where I'm just like, with the type of story she's trying to do over time as well, with like a continuing arcs and plots that are developing towards a larger thing. I was like, we should not be continuing on doing seasonal events like that timed correctly to real life often, because in some of the earlier stages that largely didn't matter or resulted in the most boring of the chapters, such as the Honey Valentine's Day chapter, in which Honey gets a cavity. Honey gets a cavity, and we just don't go to a dentist. We cancel Valentine's Day instead.
Dentists aren't real in Japan, Jeff, as has been well documented.
Apparently. Or the time that we just did Halloween shenanigans with the twins, or the Christmas episode, quote unquote, in which there was a Christmas tree at the end, so technically, legally, it counts as Christmas. That's like, it's like, okay, well, all right, thanks.
Look, Chef, okay, we got a Christmas episode, okay? You should be happy.
Yeah, yay.
You are the Christmas man.
I will say,
Crimbus.
These arcs that are getting more serious now, past the sports festival, I think I like a lot more. And I kind of wished we had some of these kind of arcs a lot more earlier on. More so, because the France trip is, I believe, encompassed in what the author called the school break arc, or like school trip arc or something. Because the second years are all going on the class trip to France, or third years? I think it's the second years. The second years are all going on the trip to France. But you know, obviously the ones that aren't second years, they're having stuff happen to them back on the you know, back home too. Specifically, it starts off with focusing on the twins, and then we jump into what's happening with Tamaki and Kyoya stuff.
I had something I wanted to point out.
Yeah, right. What's that?
In the chapter with the Tanuki, they had already known at that point, because it had been up to a vote, and the second years had voted to go to France. In the Tanuki chapter, it's pointed out that the twins are kind of aggressive, and they're teasing of Tamaki when he's in the Fandoshi, because they're trying to distract him from the fact, like, that he would probably be bothered by the fact that they're going to France.
Yeah.
Kyoya was like, "Hey, I need you guys to be helpful," and then they showed like Hikaru and Karu tackling Tamaki, and there's a big arrow pointing to them, and this is them being helpful.
Of course.
Very
And,
helpful.
That's how they help. That's how they help.
That's how they help. And I like
You
that.
don't get to fight Self.
Which, I mean, in the end, the solution towards the issue with the France trip for Tamaki was just, I will stay home from that trip. I will just not go to that trip. Which resulted in him being bored the whole fucking time. Because literally the entire staff in his house took the week off as well. Because they were like, he's not going to be here. Bye. And one of them even took his dog with them. So, Tamaki was
so
just...
funny. Really just took his dog.
Tamaki was like, all right, well, at least I get to hang out with Antoinette at home, right? And one of them was just like, actually, she's coming home with me to my family that loves dogs. We're going to give her, like, bones and hang out with her and everything. And Tamaki's like, that sounds really sweet. I'll miss you, Antoinette.
The shift from the, like, Tamaki, like, just letting Kyoya know that it's like, yeah, I'm not going to go. Please don't tell anyone. I don't want them to worry about me. And it's like the very genuine is like, it's okay if they worry sometimes. To them at the airport and the girls asking about Tamaki and Kyoya's just like, oh yeah, he's got diarrhea real bad.
That oh my god, that was so... Haruhi calls Kyoya and it's just like, so how's Tamaki doing? He's like, oh, he's got diarrhea. It's real bad. He's not gonna get to do much here. And Haruhi's like, but he's in front of my house right now. He goes, oh, did I mention he felt so bad he went home? Anyways, it's on you now. Good luck. And then for like the first bit, Haruhi's just like, what can you eat right now? Are you feeling well? He's like, what do you mean? I could eat a whole bunch right now. What about the diarrhea? What, Kyoya's got diarrhea? What do you mean? What? It was a classic Ouran High School Host Club bit. I enjoyed that little bit.
Classic.
And there was more serious stuff surrounding that kind of stuff. But before we get into that, let's talk about the twins. Because the twin stuff happened first, right? I'm not getting this mixed up. The twin stuff happened first, I think.
Yeah, the twin stuff happened first.
I think so, yeah.
So the twins, their whole bit is Kaoru turning to Hikaru and being like, you fucking like Haruhi, and you should probably do something about that, maybe. And they have a little fight. One of them goes to stay at Mori's. The other one, I forget if they just went home or not.
They mentioned, hey, why can't we just adopt Haruhi? Like, that was a bit. I wasn't serious about that.
That was a little later, but yeah, that was a whole... they had the fight at first or not really a fight. It was more so like Hikaru heard that and Hikaru was like, oh shit, maybe I do. And like went somewhere else to like reflect on it. And then went to
No,
Kaoru.
at first he's like, I can't believe he thinks I'm like my lord. Like, oh, he means like that. Oh.
Yeah.
He went to Mori's. Hikaru went to Mori and Karu went to Honey.
Yes, that's what it was, yeah. And that was important too, because Honey just went to Kaoru and Kaoru was like talking about, being worried about what Hikaru is going through the whole time, and Honey's just like, what about you, dude? What about like what you're going through? Have you thought about like yourself? Perhaps you probably should. You should probably think about what you want and your concerns. You don't have to frame this. And I noticed this too. And I think they did this again at the end of the chapter too, because I remembered they phrase it as the
I agree.
what is it? The one who is not Hikaru is me, and the one not Hikaru, or I forget how it worked. It was something like focusing on comparing whether or not he is or isn't Hikaru. And I look at that, and then I look at the fact that Honey had to say that to Kaoru, and it's like, Kaoru, you're like a person too, right? The story's not just about Hikaru, just because Hikaru clearly likes Haruhi, right? You're also like somebody, right? You're not just Hikaru too. You're not just Hikaru too.
Hikaru too, baby.
You are also, in fact, your own person. You are allowed to have your own things, and you don't have to try to do things only for the benefit of Hikaru, which was mostly what the next bit was he was trying to do. Because Hikaru comes back to Kaoru and is like, maybe we should just adopt Haruhi. And this is where Kaoru actually flips the fuck out on him. It's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you talking about? This is what I was confused about a bit too. They kind of made it sound like did Kaoru actually have feelings for Haruhi, or was it all just supposed to be, I'm going to make it look like I have feelings for Haruhi in order to get Hikaru to realize that he's got to step up if he wants to get with Haruhi? Because I wasn't sure if it was trying to go with both. Okay, you think
I think it was all a ruse, and the main reason that I think that is because at the end, because in order to build up the suspense, they fragmented up his conversation with Honey, right? When Honey asked him, like, what do you want? What's important to you? At the end, it's revealed, like, Kaoru says, Hikaru is the one that's important to me. Knowing that Hikaru is happy and Hikaru is getting what he wants, like, that's what's important to me. So I don't think at any point, like, Kaoru might have had a crush on her, but he was never, like, actively pursuing her or intending to actively pursue her. It was the whole time with the intent of tricking Hikaru because he wanted Hikaru to be happy. He didn't. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I didn't really see it that way. I saw it more as this date, like when Honey asks him, is this really what you want? And Kaoru, because this entire time Kaoru has been the one to push aside what he wants and push Hikaru to be with Haruhi. And that's also why it kind of confused me, because his whole yelling thing was him yelling at Hikaru for doing that, and I'm like, but dude, you're the one that's been doing that. Like, are you projecting, or are we gaslighting now? Like, what
Anyway, are gaslighting?
So because that's what Kaoru's been doing this entire time. Anyway, so I saw this as when Honey says, what do you want, Kaoru? That Kaoru is like, he sits with himself and he's like trying to figure out, does he actually like Haruhi? And so I took that as the few days, because he asks Haruhi for like 2 or 3, just give me 2 or 3 days, I'll work it out. Just we'll spend time together over the next 2 days. And I took that as him kind of having a trial run with himself of trying to figure out, like, okay, over the next 2 or 3 days, I'm going to figure out what my feelings are. Do I actually like Haruhi the same way that Hikaru does? Because he does like Haruhi, and he does seem to like her more than a friend. But the conclusion of that is clearly that he values his relationship with his brother more than any kind of romantic relationship he maybe could have with Haruhi.
Right.
And also realizing that it would be a very big stretch for him to end up with Haruhi. So I saw it less as all a ruse and more of him spending that time to figure himself out, like to actually put the final nail in the coffin of, like, okay, yes, this is what my feelings are. Okay, thank you for spending the date with me, and I'm gonna go home and make up with Hikaru.
Which he words it as if he got rejected later. He says that he got rejected later, and I was just like, did that really happen? Because I don't remember.
He kind of did, but it was more in the non-response.
Yeah, it was just that Haruhi's response was, "What the hell just happened?"
Yeah, and not her blushing or anything. She's just like, "What? Huh?"
It's like, are you okay? Was that on purpose?
I was just thinking back to the chapter about the old childhood friend of Haruhi who had tried to confess to her, and she was just like, okay, cool, you want to go do this over here instead? Anyways. And he was just like, oh, I got rejected. Oh, I didn't realize. or he realized he got rejected. Haruhi didn't realize Haruhi had rejected him or something. So I guess it was some like that for Haruhi, perhaps. But yeah, the point was Kaoru is just like, clearly me and Haruhi, we got no chemistry, so I'm rooting for you, Hikaru. Don't fuck it up. And also, we should be our own people now. Was their decision? They were like,
Well,
it was
Kaoru's decision.
right. But they were just like, we knew this had to happen eventually. Once one of us found someone that was like important to them in this way, but we still want to be in each other's lives. We don't have to be like entirely separate worlds apart just because of this. We can still be in each other's lives. We just don't have to be the same person anymore. We could just do our own things as well and just support each other along the way, which is nice and neat. And also entirely where I saw things going with them since the beginning as twins, which is, hey, listen, all right, it's obvious, but also, listen, it's fine. It works.
You can tell them apart now, Jeff. Look.
It works.
Is this everything you wanted and more?
It's true. I can finally tell them apart right as I was about to learn how to tell them apart.
We got further character development for the twins that, like, the reason they are so close and don't want to be seen as separate people is because their own creator cannot tell them apart.
That's important, okay? That's important.
God said shit. I don't know which one's which.
The author just be like, my assistant knows how to tell my children apart more than I do.
Sorry, guys.
It's just making me remember the fact that the twins' own mother in the story can't tell them apart either. And I was like, oh, so that's the author self-inserting that element. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that was the twins' big development stuff for this time, which personally I thought was nice. How did everybody else feel about it? I thought it was cool. I thought arcs that are more serious like this were nice, and I think we should be doing more of those. And it seems like we're gonna be doing more of those because we're running out of volumes here. But yeah,
we're running out of volumes. We got 6 more to go.
I appreciate that it happened, but I do not like the results.
That is fair. What did you want to happen? What did you want to happen?
Something that allowed me to maintain respect for them.
Oh, damn!
Damn.
And what does that mean? What would that look like?
What does that require?
Not whatever this was.
What
I can't give a specific of what I wanted. Just that
Okay.
was
Let me just ask, what about what they did you not like? Because it sounds like something about this result you don't like.
It's just the entire thing felt weird.
About like the identity, like their identity stuff.
I'm not
or
a
like...
fucking psychoanalyst. I don't know. It didn't feel right.
All right, you're just like the vibes are off. Okay.
Yeah, the vibes were not immaculate. What do you want?
It's okay, Aztec. It's okay. Listen, that's why he's gone from supremacy to idiocracy. Okay, he's a twins hater now. Okay,
I have opinions. I don't need to justify them.
Based isekai enjoyer. Let's go.
I have to tell you guys that after I went on my spiel about the fact that like Hikaru and Kaoru are two parts of Tamaki, I was feeling so validated at the fact that Hikaru kept comparing himself to Tamaki in terms of his affections for Haruhi. I was like, I was right. I told you guys.
Hold on. I have a really funny addition to that.
Yeah.
So at one point, Hikaru, he like draws a chart, and it's like, okay, here's Haruhi, here's me, here's Malort, and then Kaoru's he's just here on the left. I'm not sure why he's here.
He's just kind of there.
You can't leave him out.
Yeah, he's Kaoru. What are we supposed to do? Not have Kaoru involved somewhere? He's got to be there. Andy, what were you saying about Tamaki and the twins?
Oh, I'm kind of with Aztec. I didn't like the outcome. I had you know, that was English. What are you talking about?
Do you
Where was I
speak it?
going with this? I had something to say, you guys. God damn it.
Right.
I believe you.
Oh,
I
I
didn't like the outcome.
I liked so a big thing with the anime that I have a feeling people in chat might agree with, and I've said a couple times, the anime was not all encompassing. So the anime falls very flat in terms of characterization. I think in comparison to the manga at least. So I was actually really happy to kind of see where they took Karu's character, because very much like honestly for both of them, what both in the anime and earlier in the manga they kind of talk about is the idea that Karu is the less dominant one, the one that takes the back seat, and kind of seems to know what's going on more often than not. But I think that this was kind of showed that he doesn't actually, and it was kind of like showing that yeah, we've built up this character of Karu being like the one that's more aware, but actually he's like also kind of stupid. Because the whole like gotcha moment at the end is the fact that Hikaru, once Hikaru had all the pieces, he was able to be like, hey, I can make my own choices. I'm allowed to do that, and I don't need you to be there to do that for me, which is very much like the impression that Karu had up until that point.
Right.
So I really liked that development for Karu. And it was probably good that they ended up learning to not become one unit. I just kind of liked when they were one unit, you know? I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say I did enjoy when Kaoru snapped at Hikaru, and was like going off on him. I like that scene a lot because, you know, prior to this, it was trying to tell me that Kaoru was supposed to be the less dominant one, and was really just doing everything for Hikaru's benefit. But this is a scene where like he was like, I've had it with this shit, and he's like yelling at him and all that, and I was like, oh my god, I can actually, like, he's actually standing up for himself as a person. I might be able to tell him apart from his brother here finally. Holy shit. What the fuck? And I think in that scene he was also just being like, you know what, fuck you, I'm going for Haruhi, not you. I don't want to share Haruhi with you. I'm gonna have her all to myself. Fuck you. We're not adopting her together. What's wrong with you? I'm not sharing her with you or Tamaki. I'm gonna go for her myself.
Maniacally.
I mean, the only thing that I had an issue with there was the whole time I was just like, does he actually mean that, or is he literally just doing it for Hikaru's benefit again? Because I think I subscribe to the same camp that Ari is, in that I more so read this arc envisioning that it was a trial period for him as well. He may have also just been doing it to knowing that Hikaru is going to be watching, because I know he deliberately told Honey to bring Hikaru to a certain area to see those events happen anyways. But
yeah,
he was probably also using it as a trial event for him, because it's also something that he might not have considered before, whether or not he actually cared for Haruhi. And now that he has those thoughts as well, he's wondering and has the little trial time with her, and then it turns out they just got no chemistry. So he's just like, you know what, good luck, Hikaru, I'm rooting for you. And it's like, great. Again, the only thing I can really negatively say about this towards the end is just, it's exactly what you would expect from the arc of these characters since the beginning, pretty much. Once you introduce that one of them likes Haruhi, you know, it's like, where else is this gonna go, I guess? I mean, you probably could have it do different things, but this is pretty much the more obvious route to go with for this, which again doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It just means it was kind of easy to see. But even then, there was still like moments getting to where we are now that I was like, you know what, I enjoy this. I'm going to be able to recall these events actually happening beyond this week, I think, because it stuck out to me. So yeah, I liked it. So the twins are rising up for me in the polls. we'll say. That said, Tamaki's clearly going to be the winner in the end. I don't know why it's trying to make me think that Hikaru is going to win. It's going to be Tamaki, because we immediately had like a couple chapters later, Haruhi is now blushing. Haruhi is now just blushing like crazy from Tamaki again. So it's very obvious that Tamaki is going to be the winner here. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Look, Chef, you've been wrong before. Okay.
Sure, maybe. I know you love to point them out.
I don't think the main guy is gonna end up with the main girl. Yeah, I think that's a little.
That's just wild. That would be wild if
You've
that
been
happened.
wrong before about this, Champ.
I like seeing Haruhi. I like seeing Haruhi smitten over Tamaki. I thought that it was really cute.
It is cute. It is cute. I don't.
Oh, you Tamaki apologist like that?
Nah.
I will say,
you're
like,
laughing.
Personally,
We're
I'm the
calling you biased and you're laughing.
I'm the Kyoya enjoyer, and I would want Kyoya to win, but I don't think Kyoya really wants to compete with that at this point. Or at least it hasn't shown us more chapters of that ever since the, like, one moment many chapters ago. Or actually 2 chapters. There's 2 chapters. But, like...
If Kyoya wants to be in a relationship with anybody, it'd be Tamaki.
Exactly, yeah. That's more so what has been showing us at this point. So, you know...
But sorry, before we move on, I just also have to say, I love this series, if you couldn't tell. I loved pretty much all of the reading. I really, really liked Mori and Honey having basically just taking like the guidance role, like the background guidance role in all of this. I knew that was going to be the case when they kind of had that scene that I mentioned previously, where they, like, the two of them were literally breaking it down for the reader essentially and being like, I wonder like when they're gonna realize. So I really liked that aspect of the story this week, of the idea that, like, I don't want to say like necessarily reminding us that they're still there, because like low key that was kind of what it was. It was like, hey, Honey and Mori are here too, guys, don't forget about them. But like, that's like I guess like a relationship that I'm very fond of. The one that the one that knows and the one that doesn't. So I liked Mori and Honey being able to do that, and also I liked the scene at the end where where Karu was like so fucking excited to have finally like resolved everything, and like Honey was the first person that he went to tell about it. Like, we got it all resolved. I'm like, oh, you guys, Hikaru and Karu spent the entire first 10 volumes talking about how like they're isolated and they're doing their own thing, but like they have their people, you know? It's really cute. I liked it.
Very cute, yes.
What you thinking, Spaghetti?
It's these. I feel like this, like, I'm always noticing more some of like the weirder details of the manga. Like, I don't know. It's growing on me. I guess the way that they lay out the story, because like I think at the beginning I was like, oh, this is really, it's not anything that crazy that's happening. But then now I'm just like noticing like the little eccentricities that Bisco like makes an effort to detail. At first I was like, why? You know? You know what I mean? Like, why'd you put that here? Why is there a floating illustration of a yam or sweet potato? It's just stuff like that, but I think it's adding to the charm. Like, it is growing on me. I know this is like the later end of the series, but I guess now it is growing on me.
No, I understand it, because now it's the point where the author's just like, now I have to actually focus on the main plot relevant arcs and stuff, as opposed to the monthly episodic comedies that I was writing all the time in the first few volumes. Now we're actually having to lock in because we're getting closer to the end, and we got to wrap up some important things. So now it's
Yeah, I mean that may be why. Like that may be their motivation too. Like I have no idea what they went through creating the series.
Sure, yeah.
That's a good guess.
Right. But yeah, I'm just trying to say, like, I can understand that some of the earlier chapters, I think I would also agree, like, I can have a fun time reading some of them, but I can also see it being similar to, what was the one we read, Azumanga Daioh, where, like, that was not everybody's vibe with that kind of thing, with it just being, like, one-off joke kind of things that don't really have, like, important relevance towards these characters or develop them in any way. Like that kind of stuff is not really everybody's thing. I don't know if that's exactly what might be your issue at all, but I know that that's at least an issue that I've had at times, and I know other people have had, in terms of why they might not have been as into the series earlier, but might be more into it at this point now. Just some thoughts, I would say. But yeah. What else do we have here? Oh yes, let's talk about France. Let's talk about the French.
Oh boy, here we go.
So we go on a trip to France. The second year's due. On this trip, which Kyoya is the only one that goes to. Kyoya is the only one that we know of that goes to, because they're the only member of the cast we follow, and his trip is spent having him and his bodyguards searching all of Paris for Tamaki's mom, spending the entire time trying to find out where she, which surprisingly took a lot more effort from him than I would have expected, given how good he has been at gathering information prior, and also how easy it was for Haruhi to just get this information from Tamaki later. Tamaki's like, you could just ask me, I'll just tell you. Like,
well, he was looking for the address because he knew about the mom's name and he knew kind of about her, but it to me it sounded like they had her in a secret location, or at least not a publicly disclosed location.
She was in hiding, yeah.
Not exactly hiding,
No,
but
she
like,
was in. That was the point, was that she, in order to protect Tamaki, she went into hiding.
Because like they said explicitly that she moved after he left. So Tamaki, regardless, Tamaki would not know where she lives at all. Just that she's probably still in France.
Oh, sure.
So
probably in France.
I don't know. I just thought that, like, it seemed like he hadn't even bothered talking to Tamaki about information about the mom, because it seemed like he didn't even remember the mom's name until, like, he woke up sort of kind of hearing her name. And I was like, wait a minute, maybe I know that name. So I was
that
like,
was the fever talking, you know, the very very specific fevers that keep afflicting our cast.
The fever there being I've been stressing myself up, staying up all night trying to look into.
I've been awake for 36
I'm trying to look through all of Paris for my boyfriend's mom here, which is basically what it was. And
and I'm stuck in France.
And I'm stuck in France. And he's trying to also still balance maintaining his relations with the other students who also went on the trip with him. So he's got a lot going on, and his guards the whole time are just like, his security team is just like, sir, are you sure you want to keep going with this? You haven't, you look like you haven't slept much, and maybe we should get like some other detectives on this, perhaps. Are you sure you want to personally check all these places yourself? All of Paris, sir? And Koi's like, of course, this is the most logical place where she might be. We have to do this. We have to check it all now. We have to find it now, because we have to go back home with a gift for that idiot. Okay, to strengthen my relations with his family, of course. No other reason, like, liking the guy or anything. No other reason, of course. And then he's too tired to like hide it anymore. He's like, oh, we gotta come home with something good for that idiot. Okay, we gotta.
So.
The bodyguards are all like, oh, poor boy, he doesn't have any other friends.
It reminded me of how, I think, if I remember correctly, Karu said to Kyoya's face
during the sports festival arc, oh, you're the tsundere type. I know a lot of girls that would be into that. Was so funny to me. Like, damn, call that bitch out, why don't you?
So eventually Kyoya finds the mom. The mom who, how did he phrase it? And I agreed with him. He was like, I had just assumed that Tamaki got his whole personality from his dad, but his mom is basically the same thing as well. Because
it's like, oh no, he was doomed from the start.
His mom,
her misconceptions and excitement about Japanese culture.
Yeah, because the mom's got the misunderstandings about Japanese culture as well. It's just like, do you have a kotatsu at home? Oh, it sounds so warm and nice, huh? But she also has a dog that looks exactly the same as Antoinette. And I think there was a joke prior in the search where they're just in a random park at some point, and the guard's like, look, there's a blonde woman over there with a dog. Perhaps that could be her, sir. And Kyoya's like, you idiot. Obviously that's not her. She wouldn't be in a place like this. All right, let's get going. But then, like, the camera went closer to her being like, oh, don't worry, dog's name, who I can't remember. Let's get going. And it's like a detailed
That
like,
is
shot
Japanese.
of them. And I'm like, okay, so this is clearly them, and we're just going to go back to them later. All right, well.
But to be fair, incredibly funny to go to Europe and just point to a blonde person and go, oh, that's probably the blonde person we're looking for.
Like, Kyoya wasn't wrong for calling them an idiot for that, but also...
He forgot the story he's in.
It's like, you should have taken a closer look regardless, my guy.
Look, blonde woman, right there. That's got to be her. Could be. Could be. No, sorry. There's no way she'd be in a place like this. She's got to be more closely into the Paris city, like Paris Central or whatever. I think was where he was mostly focusing on or something. Because where was she located? She was like located in like some outer painter-focused place or something like that.
Some like
the place where they started, a bit like
Yeah.
the Impressionist place where he was explaining the different artist names to
artists
those girls
that studied there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I maybe this was mentioned in the earlier chapters and I just always misunderstood it. I had always just been under the implication, at least on my end, that Tamaki's mom did not come from money at all and just happened to have a son with somebody who did come from money, and then this is why Tamaki had to move to Japan in order for Tamaki's mom, who was sick, to like be able to survive or whatever there. No, Tamaki's mom also comes from money. Or Tamaki's mom's side of the family
just they were
also
in
comes
rough
from money.
time.
They were just in rough times at her father's company, and also as soon as Tamaki moved away, she got better. I still don't remember if they told us.
Which is really funny.
Did they clarify what her sickness
Yeah.
was at all, or
No.
they just keep it?
She's just like generally frail.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like as soon as
Yeah.
Tamaki moved away, she like got better, but she's still not allowed to see him.
She moved to the country where there's fresh air and her constitution improved.
Yeah.
And she no longer had to take care of that little shit.
They did have a chapter which was like her with like young Tamaki and being like, yeah, I just want to see you have fun to the fullest, and I want to see a smile on your face, Tamaki, which is why he kind of lives the way he does today. But he then immediately says like, okay, mom, I'll go play a song for you right now. Ding, 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 ding. And she's like, okay, well maybe let's not do that. Maybe let's do something else, honey. I'm laying in bed and
Maybe
you're giving
go
me a headache,
outside,
please.
sweetheart.
Maybe go outside. I just love that about Tamaki. He's like, all right, mom. Ding, ding, ding. But yeah, so she's not allowed to see Tamaki. This is like the agreement that she had with the family in order for them to take him in. Tamaki's dad is still secretly in communications with the mom and sending her updated photographs of what Tamaki's up to at the school. As we see, there's like updated photos of them together and all that in her house. So she's still keeping up with how Tamaki's doing, but she's not allowed to see or speak with with Tamaki, which is unfortunate. But she got to talk with Kyoya about things, at least. I forget the exact nature of what they talked about once Kyoya actually was like, can we talk about this for a second, actually? Can we talk this out? Why? I forget exactly what the nature of it was. But it sounded like she sold him, got better, but like they still needed the money in order to help her family's business, and so she just hasn't been able to communicate with them still. And meanwhile, back at home, Tamaki the entire time is bored out of his fucking mind and trying to text Kyoya the whole time. And there was a series of pages in which it was him talking in probably the most infuriating way to text ever I've ever seen, which is very on brand for Tamaki.
Well, he said he was trying to text like May,
which
the
sure,
girl in the
He
previous
was
one.
learning.
yeah, sure.
Gyari
I just
style.
thought it was very
He's
funny.
coming our way.
I just thought it was very funny. Tamaki's sitting there like, why hasn't he responded yet? Maybe he couldn't decipher my texts. Yeah, maybe that was it. I don't think I would
barely understand what you're saying.
I don't think that Kyoya couldn't bother it or couldn't decipher it. More like just got tired of trying to decipher it every single time. I think I did after a while. I was like, I can understand this if I look through it, but I'm just like, if you ever text me like this, I will hate you forever. Okay.
That almost entirely made sense to me.
I didn't bother to try.
I was just like, this is
I got most of it.
like, I just ended, but I was just like, this is like, if you do this, you're like doing some Homestuck troll speak, going out of your way to make this more difficult to read for quirk reasons. Like, you're just fucking with me at this point. And Kyoya would probably just be like, Tamaki's just fucking with me again, like he always does.
Should have been a wingding.
Leap.
Kyoya's just like, I'm trying to do all this stuff for this idiot, and he's texting me about him being bored in the most indecipherable bullshit all day. All right? But it's fine because he got to call, or Haruhi got to talk with Kyoya, and he got to say, oh, don't worry, he's got diarrhea. Didn't I tell you? He got... he's got diarrhea. Oh, he felt so sick.
Wild.
He went back.
I just think it's so wild. Like, man, you gotta pull that one out.
Not his family needed him for a while. Like his dad called him away or something. Or
no, Kyoya wanted to embarrass
Tamaki
as much as possible.
Yeah.
Based.
So the thing about Kyoya visiting Tamaki's mother. Now, I love me a good hidden identities, I guess, where people are having a conversation and someone is very clearly hiding their identity, but us, the viewer, know, why they're doing it, or at least that they are purposefully hiding it from them. But here I didn't really get it. I didn't really get why he wasn't more, why he purposefully hid that the entire time. Because like his goal is to see how Tamaki's mother's doing, which he did, but he doesn't say who he is. Also, where did his guards go? Because he collapses in front of his guards because we have a giant reaction of one of his guards going, "Oh no, Master Kyoya!" And then Anne Sophia, I think that's her name, she says, "Oh, it was actually kind of hard for me and my mom and dad to drag you back here." And I'm like,
where'd the guards go? I remembered saying the same thing. What happened to the guards?
He had
when Kyoya,
the guards let him be kidnapped.
The security's just like, hold up, wait, that's the plot. That's the plot. We have to let her deal with it from here. All right, boys, let's go. It's not our job to interfere with the plot here.
Guys, Kyoya's down.
Not only does that mean they didn't help, that means that they let her kidnap him and then left. Because they're not there. like, oh, okay, like the person she's talking to is like his guards or something, you know. They're like in
Right.
another room having tea or something, or maybe they're outside. No, I guess they're back in Japan or something, back at the hotel. I don't know. Who cares? But yeah, I didn't really understand why Kyoya didn't say who he was. Like, I guess it was more like a pride thing, or just being a shitty little
I
18-year-old thinking you're cool and
I
stuff.
kind of thought it was like so that there would be plausible deniability. So it's like, well, if he didn't admit who he was, then it maybe wouldn't get back to like the grandmother, that they were kind of
Yeah.
skirting around her rules in a
But they're
little
not,
was
bit.
a-
because this is some other guy who is just going out to sea and
Yeah.
just like, hey, you know, just I went to, obviously the school went to France, you know, that didn't have anything to do
There
with it.
was
But
that scene though of the grandmother asking her assistant for a list of Tamaki's friends.
yeah, I don't get that. I mean, we'll see what that comes
I-
to next
I'm
month.
sure.
But I'm like,
I-
okay,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had
Since
assumed
you
that's
already know
gonna be
them.
Grandma's gonna do have a villain arc.
Fuck shit.
And fuck shit
definitely.
up later, especially when it comes to Kyoya, probably. I did also want to bring
and
that
why
up.
is she waiting till now?
Mostly because of the developments towards the father directly inviting Tamaki to start running businesses with the family. That was a thing that happened this week as well.
Yeah,
Which,
I
Yeah.
guess, but like they've been in Ouran High School for 5 years now. Like,
Nuh-uh.
she's okay with him
Yes,
being a
fine,
perpetual
okay.
high schooler. She's not okay with
I'm
him running the
with you.
business yet, okay? It's different. He can be a forever student, all right?
For every year Tamaki's in high school, Grandma gets to live for longer.
Give me a list of all of Tamaki's friends. It's pretty easy. Just look who keeps repeating every year.
But yeah, that
Anyway, that's all my comment.
okay. But yeah, that wasn't another big development regarding this arc. Was Tamaki having dinner with his dad? There was an interaction in which a waiter at a table nearby had dropped some stuff and spilled a drink or something onto another customer, and was cleaning up the mess on the floor before trying to clean up the stain on the outfit. And so he was being... The staff basically told the person, what would you like us to do with this employee young customer? And the customer was just like, fire them immediately. And Tamaki almost stood up to start shit. And the dad was like, you sit the fuck down and shut up, okay? You got nothing to do with this. And this is business, all right? I don't agree with it either. And maybe I'll talk with them afterwards. But you don't get involved like that, okay? It's not your business. And also, we have a family reputation here, okay? You can't be doing that shit. Anyways, you want to run my business with me?
That was kind of bullshit, though.
Yeah,
bullshit,
that was
though,
the big thing
because-
that jumped out to me.
Because the dad was like explicitly like, look, in business you can't always fix things, okay?
You
That's
can't do
not
that.
our job here. You can't just swoop in and save the day. It's not your friend's stuff. And it's like, that's such a rich person mentality.
Because he says that, and then he's
You have
immediately just
so
like,
much money.
he says that, he's immediately like, all right, I'll talk to the manager later, because I also don't agree with what they're doing there. But you know, I'll talk about them with them later. It's like, but you just said he can't do that, so he can do that, or what? Is it a matter of like having the money for it, or just the looks or whatever, or what's going on here?
And it's like, oh, wait. So you kind of agree with your son, but you're just too much of a coward to do anything about it.
Pretty much.
This isn't like a restaurant is closing down. This is just one guy who didn't make any mistake. You could easily, afterwards, just go up to him and be like, hey, I'll hire you. Problem solved. There you go.
My
You
son's got a new
saved the
business.
day like the hero you claim your son can't be. Because guess what? You're rich as hell. Anyway.
Yeah, and it definitely was trying to showcase like the different mindsets between Tamaki entering that kind of business world, like Tamaki as a person versus the type of person Tamaki would become if he actually does enter that world, which, because Tamaki's dad is basically the same as Tamaki in many ways, but he has also just entered the business world. And so he has accepted those kind of responses to those situations, while also just agreeing with the things that Tamaki is saying and just not wanting to do things about them directly until maybe later in private. And it's like, well, but like, you know, it's a difference in the way Tamaki will become. And this arc kind of ends with like the vague, like, what's going to happen with them? Is Tamaki going to try to join the business, or did he decline it? And what's the grandma going to do to fuck around with all that? But it's trying to see what we're going to do with Tamaki when it comes to Tamaki's family here, and whether or not it will ever result in him going back to his mom or being able to. Because I forget if it was either Tamaki or Tamaki's mom. I think it was Tamaki. Being hopeful that one day he'll be able to sit at a Katatsu with like his mom, his grandma, and his dad, and they're all just hanging out together. I think that would be the ideal. Obviously, it can be very difficult for that to happen, mostly because of the grandma. The grandma is really the main thing that fucks all of this up. But yeah, I guess we'll find out more about that. But I did want to also ask, prior to this, the restaurant scene, there was a weird additional scene in which he's helping an old lady get go up an escalator because she was having trouble climbing up a couple steps. And they made a note to highlight, not only does he verbally say, why did they put steps there? The camera also just, the manga also just focuses the panel on those steps over and over again. And I was like, are we trying to do like some symbolic thing about some people not be able to climb those steps, and therefore they're not invited up to this world? And I'm just like, are we doing a thing now where we're trying to show the difference between wealthy people and those who struggle to get up there at this point? Because I'm just like, I don't think we should have been developing that a long while ago if that's where this is supposed to go. I don't know if we got room for all that now.
That was
I thought it was
not
just
how I
supposed to be like
interpreted that scene.
highlighting his propensity for trying to solve problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
okay, I can
going
see
into
that.
the conversation that he has with his dad about the fact that like you can't always help everyone, and it's like, okay, but we've shown that that is Tamaki's character, is that he's going to do what he can to help everyone. So you saying you can't isn't gonna stop him.
Oh, okay, I see that. Yeah.
Was how
took
I
it
read
less
it, at
as
least.
that, but more of like this is kind of his not talent, but just like this is the way his mind works. Leading up to the business thing, where like he gets to the place, he gets to the elevators, and he sees that this person is having a problem with them, and he sees that it's not a problem with this person. It's a problem, it's more of a systemic problem, that there are steps here before the elevator that would prohibit anyone who is elderly or possibly has some kind of mobility problem, that it is less a specific issue and more a systemic one that could be addressed. So I saw it more as like that is just how Tamaki's brain works. And leading into the business meetings, that if he were to run a business, that would be more of how he does it. He notices those smaller things and tries to tackle the root of the problems rather than the individual causes of it.
Right. Okay.
Because like with the waiter, he's probably wasn't going to berate the woman. I mean, he might have, but like the issue is more of the policies that led to the waiter being dismissed.
Right. The fact that they stopped everything to ask the customer, what would you like us to do with the employee? And it's like, what? Why? What?
Huh? Why are you giving her authority over that?
What is...
The customer is wrong. The customer was wrong to do such a fuss, but the thing that led the waiter to being fired was the restaurant buckling over for her.
Yeah. It's like...
Didn't Tamaki's dad be like, they're not firing them?
Tamaki's dad was like, I don't think he should be fired, so so maybe I'll talk with the manager later. I don't think he'll be fired. And I think the implication was going to be he will talk them into not firing him. But I was also just like, okay, but why don't you just talk about it now with them while the situation's happening? If you have this money and power to be able to apparently do it behind the scenes, like, I think my whole thing again is just why are we even like even if we're just going with the whole, oh, he really should have known to focus on cleaning her shirt before the floor or whatever, like, okay, you deal with that with him later. You don't have to like be like, well, ma'am, do you think we should fire him right now? Because why
the public humiliation was not necessary.
like
I think that goes even more to what we may see later is the difference of how Tamaki tries to be proactive while his father is inactive.
Yeah.
I keep calling him a coward, but he kind of is, There was a line towards the end of this where Kyoya is wondering, like, what role does Tamaki's father have in all of this? Like, he's under his mother's thumb, but he's a grown man. He's the one running the stuff. Why isn't he doing more? Like, he's off going to see his wife, ? But he's keeping Tamaki completely out of the loop, and he could probably be doing more. So I think it's going to come back to Tamaki being the one that's like, hey, no, I want to be proactive and stuff, and you are just sitting by idly while the world passes us by,
Right.
I think that can also be shown in how he was behaving with. I think that it's in conjunction with the realization that Kyoya had later, but earlier when he's talking about the fact that he's doing when Tamaki was lovesick, and he was talking about the fact that he's trying to do right by Tamaki by taking the supporting role and letting Tamaki do what he needs to prove that like he's worthy of the Suo name. That was just like another example of that being the case.
But I wonder how much of it is actually on purpose and how much of it is just kind of a learned thing, But we'll see.
We will see. Again, I will say, like, the more serious arcs like this, with the plot progressing and the characters being developed like this, these chapters are the ones that, like, I enjoy more, especially because we can discuss these kind of things about them. It's a lot more interesting and has me a lot more invested than the previous attempts at arcs that we've done. So I'm very much enjoying stuff like this, and I am very interested to see how this is gonna progress / wrap up. And there are hints towards this about, I think it was phrased as, we didn't know that this would potentially be the end of the host club, because we're getting towards the end, we gotta have the stakes of the host club potentially dissolving. Oh no, they might have to graduate at some point from high school after like 5 years. It's possible. But
graduate after my 6th year of high school.
But yeah, so Haruhi meets up with Tamaki because Tamaki is just wandering in front of her house because he's bored, and I think had also been trying to reach out to Kyoya. Kyoya's obviously not answering because he's busy, and eventually he just goes to Haruhi's and has to go through the slight awkwardness of having not gone on the France trip and lying to Haruhi about it. And I think he said he went around and apologized to everybody about that stuff too, like the day before they all met up again at school anyways. But with Haruhi, I think it was more just she was curious about him and his French past. And so he was just like, oh, I could just tell you about it if you ask me. And then she starts asking him about it. And what did he... So he said he had a name in France. It was like Renee... Renee...
I don't know the rest of it.
Tamaki... Richard something. I forget. It was a long name. Oh,
Card.
Here it is. Here it is. Rene Tamaki Richard de Grantenue. I don't know if I pronounced that right, that last part, but Richard de Grantenue or whatever. So,
Renee Grana Padano.
Dang and flanking rompa dompa. Rudy Tooty pointy V3 killing harmony. Yes. Yeah, so they talked for a bit, and that I think that was the moment when he left that he also just kind of kissed her on the cheek and then went home. Was that chapter or was that a later chapter? All I know is whatever that
I think
was,
it was that chapter.
Started us on another sequence of her blushing, thinking about that interaction with Tamaki, and then slightly avoiding him like she had before. Not as hard as before, though, but like she was like remembering it while Tamaki was talking with her, and then immediately just turns to twins and be like, "So, what'd you guys do over break?" Or I forget what she had said, but she basically like ignored him to talk with the twins again. But yeah, so developments happening very clearly, though. It's showing us that Tamaki is the Tamaki and Haruhi route is probably very strong with that. Who could have seen that coming? No one. Absolutely no one could see that coming. Specifically because everybody knows Tamaki gets with Kyoya in the end. We all know this. That's just obviously. But the twins don't get with each other anymore because they said they want to stop the incest ploy at the club, which I don't know if they're actually going to stop doing that. I don't know if Kyoya is going to allow them to stop doing that. It seems like it makes them a lot of money, but we'll see how that goes.
I bet next volume it's going to be the same. It's either going to be the exact same with like no change, or it's going to be pretty much the same. But they're going to be like, no, it's different. No, it's different. We're not doing that.
I'm ready for the next volume to start with another Tanuki chapter. Sorry, we had a whole bunch of serious stuff happen. We got to take care of a Tanuki now. We got to take care of a Tanuki. We gotta fix Honey's cavity. Sorry, when I say fix, I mean we have to cancel a holiday over it. And then we gotta go help like a Yakuza boy who's actually a very sweet guy who hates scary things. Or a Gyaru, or an occult guy who hates light. We have our side characters. Okay. One thing that I did want to mention is that we finally got the author to talk more about the Ouran Host Club video game, the VN that we mentioned when we first started this, in which she showed 3 new characters that were introduced to it, and then a couple of her comments about being confused about what's happening with their routes. And I think she also was very new to how video games work sometimes, because she's like, I forgot to have a memory card, or I forgot to save. I forgot to save before I finished the route, so now I have to do it all again. It's like, oh, I see. But this is also
She
like
got the bad ending.
I forget what year this was, but this is all like she was running this on a PS2, so this is a while ago. So, I think
She
one
bought
of the
PS2 so she could play the game.
one of the little notes I think said that she had got a Nintendo DS. I think she said she was wanted to try and do some. She was trying to do some brain games and instead started playing Mario. I think was what she wrote.
Yeah, that was in the sections down at the bottom where she was talking about some of her like favorite objects. So it was like the pen grip that she had, the like plum tea ramen or something, and then her DS Lite, I think, that she played Mario Kart on.
I remembered one of her little comments. One of her little comments talked about all of the different drawing materials that she uses for making the manga. And I remember trying to read it and being like, I don't understand what most of this is. I'm assuming these are specific products that are over there. She's like, for this pen nib, I use this thing. For this whiteout thing, I use this. I was like, there's a lot of things being listed here, and I'm sure somebody out there who was an artist who asked about that over there at the time knows what all these means. But I'm just like, oh my god, what the fuck is all this? Oh.
Yeah, she uses a kuretake for brush pens. Those are good.
What is that?
You know.
Okay.
It's
Thanks.
like a they were used a lot for like calligraphy, but they're really good for drawing as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And they have
Kuretake is a
a
brand.
refillable cartridge. Like you can buy another one and stick it back in there. They're very convenient.
I think she had also
Have two
specifically
of
said,
them.
I like to outline things in orange pencil, and then orange mechanical pencil, and then go back over it with black mechanical pencil later because it's easier for her to see the orange, or something like that. I forget what it was, but
Yeah,
little-
orange was easier than blue.
yeah, little details like that for the behind the scenes stuff, which is nice that that's included. I do appreciate. I will say the notes still kind of take me out of things because they're introduced often in the middle of important scenes happening, and by the time I'm done reading it, I go to the next page and I'm like, oh wait, what was happening in this scene again? But I also don't know how these were presented in like a magazine release instead, if these were like shown, before they even started reading perhaps, or if these were just not actually no, they might not have been included in the magazine release at all because they are often just referring to the volume number. So maybe they were just presented like
Yeah, they're
this.
often manga specific.
Yeah. I don't know. But they're interesting that they're there. I'm glad that they're there. So I liked that. You know what else I liked? We didn't have Love Egoist this week, or Romantic Egoist, or whatever we're calling it now.
Yeah.
We didn't have to.
Yeah.
We didn't have that again. So we don't have much left with the series. So hopefully that keeps up. I'm sorry, Hatori. I know you wanted to try something, but you things weren't cooking with that. Okay, things weren't really cooking with that. I'm sorry to say. All right, it's just no. All right, listen. There was an attempt made with that series. Okay, there was an attempt made, but the Ouran is a lot more fun. I think so. Yeah. What else was there? Was there another bonus meme that I'm forgetting? I feel like there was another bonus meme.
Oh, Kuze, the weird 16 and 18-year-old legal proposal
it was his
thing with
birthday.
Kuze and his fiance.
It was his birthday, and his fiance kept sending him trolling presents that were like beating him up and slamming cake in his face, and they find out like, oh, it's you're supposed to figure out a word. She really wants you to remember a specific word, and they wrote Article 731 or something, and they're like, Haruhi, you're a lawyer, you should be able to know what that means. I'm like, what the fuck? What do we have? Why are we doing like Umineko epitaph bullshit here? What do you mean? And they look it up. It's just like, oh, it's just the age you're able to get married in Japan. It's like 18 for men, 16 for women, or something. They wrote, and it's like, oh, okay, so you're supposed to formally ask her to marry you, and he does, because they've already been engaged essentially by their family. But it's like, okay, let me do it, and then she immediately blasts him in the face with a water gun and says, haha, I was fucking with you, it's all good. We're already engaged anyways, I don't mean shit. But then they're like, oh, but actually I do like that he did it. It's like, okay, so there's layers to the trolling, I guess. It's very short, so it didn't overstay its welcome for me. And we got to fuck with the Kuze guy again, because why not? So that was cute, I guess. This is nothing incredible. I don't know if I'll remember it next week, but it's fine. It was a cute little thing. It made me remember this was a comedy, because we had a lot of very serious chapters in a row before that. So it was nice. All right. How do we feel about we already talked about how we felt about the twin stuff. How do we feel about the Tamaki stuff? Did you guys enjoy the Tamaki development? Okay, well, before we get into Andy's laughing here, okay? Before we get into the laughter that we got going on here, what did other people think?
It was cute.
Oh, okay. Nobody else? Okay. Oh, Aztec, did you have something?
No, I'm good.
Oh, I thought your mic makes a noise whenever you're about to talk, and I just heard it just now, so I was like, oh, is he about to say something? I don't know.
Aztec
I was gonna
wishes
say
that
something,
all
then
of
I
these
forgot it.
boys would have.
All right, Andy, what do you got for us?
Okay, so I really liked all of this week's reading. Again, I mentioned it earlier because we're finally getting into some of the character development that didn't happen in the manga. So a lot of this was new content for me, but it was so good. Anyway, number one, you missed the part where Haruhi also becomes lovesick over her stuff for Tamaki. She's like, oh, my heart's beating really fast whenever I think about him and I get flushed in the face. Must be
That
a
is true.
fever. I have to rest. And I thought that was really funny.
I did also forget to mention that she specifically calls Kyoya because she hasn't heard from Tamaki and wants to know how he's doing as well. That was why she was calling Kyoya to begin with, right? So, yeah, that was cute too.
But all of this was just, again, Kyoya loves Tamaki, okay? I don't know how else I can put that. That's more than a friendship, my brother. But I actually have very little to say. It's just that it was so good. I was crying when they got to the part right at the end where Kyoya is kind of like very gently hinting at the fact, like, he's like, yeah, like, your mom's good, she's wishing the best for you, but like he's not willing to say it outright. And Tamaki's crying about it. It was so cute. And I was just like obsessed about the fact that like Kyoya would go to those lengths for Tamaki, and the fact that Tamaki didn't know either. That was another thing, like the fact that they were very much playing towards each other's, like, they kind of knew what the other person was doing during the sports festival and were kind of aware of what was going on. Both of them were. This was like a complete surprise to Tamaki. It totally caught him off guard. And it was just, it was so good to read about. And it was honestly, like, I think really good Kyoya development too, because we got to see a little bit more with the bodyguards. The fact that he can't sleep when someone is snoring next to him, that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
poking fun at the guard that snores. And it was so good. And it was so much more depth than we got in the anime. So I was just, I was eating it up. It was so good. So yeah, I don't actually have much to say about it other than the fact that it was good and I'm happy.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm sure the next volumes and chapters will also make you happy if it's focusing on Tamaki more, which it seems like a lot of the later stuff is going to primarily focus on Tamaki. Seems like we've already...
I'm a little nervous to see what his grandmother is going to do.
Yeah.
I have a feeling...
I'm not. I'm ready for the death match.
Oh, okay.
You want to be the heir? You want to be the heir so bad? How bad?
Ouran High School Death Club.
Oh, finally.
Yay.
A death game anime in book club. I'm ready.
I love this series so much. Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you've been enjoying. Real quick, thank you so much to Lidzy for the raid in the middle of that. Holy shit. I hope you guys are doing well. What were you guys up to? I already gave you a shout out, but I hope everything was going well today. We are here to talk about Ouran High School Host. I mean, we're pretty much almost done with today's discussions, though. We are on, what are we on? 11 and 12 of the series, and this goes up to 18 volumes. So we're almost, we have like 3 more meetings, I think, until we're done with the series. With that in mind, how are people feeling about the direction of where the series is going towards the end? Are we excited for where it's gonna go? Do we think it's gonna go whatever typical route you're expecting this to go, or do you think like it'll still do some fun comedy bits along the way, or what do you want out of this as we get towards the end? How are we feeling?
Well, I want Tamaki Kyoya endgame, but
I want all the good things to happen for Kyoya. I want to see Kyoya win. I don't care how he wins. I just want to see him win. Okay, because he deserves it. All right. That
I mean,
boy
it will
works
be
hard. So
interesting to see Kyoya win the death game eventually.
that will be impressive. Okay, he will kill Tamaki. Not even involving the game, he will kill him for sport. Okay, that's just a fact.
I want more chapters that involve Harui being a character again.
I do too. You know
Yeah.
what? That's a great point.
That's fair.
We talked a lot about the developments with the twins' relation with Haruhi and Tamaki's relation with Haruhi. Haruhi has barely been involved with these developments. She's just been there as a concept for them. And then they'll go to her and she'll be like, well, what was that about? Except with her and Tamaki, of course, where she's blushing. So, you know, I want more of that. I do agree. I also want us to do anything more with Mori or Honey, but I don't know if we got room for that at this point, I guess. I don't know. But and I guess also I don't know what that would look like in a way that I would be satisfied with, I guess. I don't know. I feel like we could do some serious stuff with Mori that we could dive into. That would be nice, but I don't know. I only got a little taste of that when it came to the Valentine's chapter, which I still thought was a dumb chapter in concept anyways, but it at the very least made an attempt at doing more with Mori as a character. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes with that. Anybody else have thoughts? Thank you so much for the follow, Gamer Baron. And hello, Fuse. How's it going? Yeah, I think that might be all we have for this week. Then I think Shadow also dipped because Shadow already let us know ahead of time that he's probably going to have to start leaving some of these book clubs early. So that's all perfectly fine. Thank you for hanging, Shadow. Do we have anything involving any other afterwards or bonus memes that we want to mention? I don't think so. Because I think we might have already talked about the bits that I could think of to talk about anyways. Oh, you know what I remembered? One of the side comments from the author had mentioned something about her and a remote controller. I forget if she either lost it or it stopped working and then it started working the next day. But I remembered she wrote in one of her comics, perhaps this was punishment for messing with Kyoya perhaps it was punishment for messing with Kyoya and his interaction with the remote controllers in my head all of those times for fun with my fellow assistants. Perhaps this is karma for doing that. And I thought that was very funny that we mentioned that. So yeah. All right. Any final comments before we wrap up for this week? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
This is a good series.
It is a good series, I think.
Yeah.
At times, I should clarify, I guess.
You should read more shoujo to develop emotions and feelings.
What is it? Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun? You should read more shoujo. It develops character.
You said that, and then I turned around and DM'd my friend going, I said, what did I say? Hold on. I said, but it wouldn't be Ouran. It wouldn't be the same.
That's right. I should read more shoujo.
It wouldn't be Ouran. It wouldn't be the same.
Oh my god.
It would be Tamaki and Kyoya.
Holy shit.
Yes, that's the thing about reading stories, is that there's different things out there. And you'll see a lot of cool things out there. And it's not all the same.
Tamaki and Kyoya is the coolest.
What you're desiring is fanfic.
All right, so next week we're gonna start reading Hot Gimmick.
Heated rivalry.
That's not shoujo.
Don't bring up my current obsession. I don't need that. Stop it. I'm resisting watching right now. Okay.
All right, let's wrap up.
We're gonna start reading Nana next week. All right, don't worry. It's on hiatus. We can't read Nana, unfortunately.
Fury.
Shoujo that is not on infinite hiatus.
do those exist? I don't know. All right, we're gonna start reading Fruits Basket. We're gonna read all of Fruits Basket.
Shoujo is getting good. Okay.
Are they done? You say this like this is like the first shoujo we've read. I don't think this was the first shoujo we've read, is it?
Ari's just getting up my ass over the fact that I clearly like shoujo, but I refuse to read other shoujo that isn't a harem.
Oh.
Yeah, no. That is not Ouran.
Hey, I'm not
Familiar
familiar.
Zero is not shoujo.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely not shoujo.
That is not shoujo.
That is not shoujo.
The clarification is that you won't read it. That's not Ouran.
Yeah, it's because Ouran is peak. I don't know what to tell you. No, I can't say that. I was going to say I have read Toradora, but I haven't. I've watched Toradora.
Dear Lord.
Which is also pretty good.
I don't
Toradora is
know.
also
'Cause
not
it's not
shoujo.
sounding like a shoujo fan. Really.
Anyways,
It's okay.
Hey, if shoujo wins the vote, I'll read it. That's
I
the
mean-
point of the book club. Is I'll read
That
things.
is true.
Shoujo?
It is, yeah. Well,
Manga shoujo, yeah.
Yeah. It's shoujo, which is also very popular for the Viz Media audience. This a lot of, but yeah, it's shoujo. Yeah. I don't know if that one's ever debated for that. I'm assuming that's shoujo. So yeah. Anyways, anything else? Anything else we have to add here for the Ouran discussions and or hopes or dreams? All right, cool. Thank you so much, everybody, for sticking around for this week. That was volumes 11 and 12. Next week, we'll be discussing volumes 13 and 14 of Ouran High School Host Club, the manga. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to hang out. You can watch these live every week on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick all at the same time. YouTube.wolfborg.com, twitch.wolfborg.com, kick.wolfborg.com, and all these episodes will be uploaded to Spotify soon once I am done editing the episodes out, and then they'll be up there in an undeterminate amount of time for how they're gonna really. I'm working on it. Okay, I'm working on it. They're going up there eventually, though. You'll be able to listen to them eventually if you give a shit. It'll be there. Make sure to press any follow or subscribe buttons that are available to you if you would like to watch these things as they go. And I appreciate everybody for listening, and I appreciate all the guests who were here for this week. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you're having a good time with the series, and I will talk to you all next week. Let's see who is around to raid. To raid Shadow Legends, even, if you can believe it. Let's see. Who do we have here? There was somebody I saw streaming earlier, but they might not be streaming anymore. No, they're not. Unfortunate. Oh, we'll go into Koragi again, who is playing GTA 3. So, go tell them I said hi. Thank you so much for hanging, and I will talk to you all next week. And or earlier if I decide to do an earlier stream. Oh yeah, we're doing anime seasonals still in the Discord server. We might be able to continue those more tomorrow night. If not, we will be doing that Saturday. That's discord.wolfborg.com if you wish to join the Discord to watch those with us. There's been some interesting shows so far, so I'm excited. So, thanks for hanging. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye, stream. Bye-bye.
Bye. Stream.
Bye, stream.